Let's be honest here. You're accepting certain things in your life that you could actually change, and you know it. Your marriage is struggling, yet you're accepting it. Your health is declining, and you're accepting it. Your business could be doing so much better, but you're accepting it. Yet when somebody comes along and challenges you to do something about it, you decide it's too hard. Here's the thing. There's a difference between acceptance and challenges. The thing is, when we have challenges in our life and we're not doing anything about it, then we're accepting that. Yet we complain. I used to complain for years. Why is this happening to me? Why can't I catch a break? Why is she always down my back? Why is nothing ever good enough? And this was my story. And it was because at that time, I didn't realize that I was not challenging myself. I was accepting my circumstances. And so many of us men do. And it's because we're under it. And we feel like there's not enough hours in the day to tackle things. But here's the thing that I did learn, is that when I started to reframe things and look at my life differently and put value on the things in my life that mattered to me, then suddenly that's when I realized that I needed to change. It was when I realized that I was close to losing my marriage, when my health was really starting to show signs that I needed to do something about it, when my businesses that I had were struggling and it was taking its toll on me, that I realized something had to give. And that was when I recognized that I have created something that's become a massive challenge in my life, and I have almost unconsciously come to accept it. Life's a bitch and then you die and all that stuff that we hear, which is absolute bullshit. If you want to have a better life than you've got right now, or one or more areas of your life, it starts with you. And maybe what you need right now is to challenge yourself, because when we got enough things coming at us, we get beat up and we get tired. And what happens is we don't even realize that we start to take our foot off the accelerator. We start to care a little bit less, and we start to accept our life as it is. And we just convince ourselves that somehow that's how it is. But the truth is, when you challenge yourself, you start to find out what you're really made of and what you're capable of. And you're no stranger to this. A simple example of this is going to the gym on a day when you're tired and you don't feel like it, but you said, no, I'm going to do something about my health. And so you decide to go to the gym. And lo and behold, you come out of the gym, and what do you feel like? You feel great. You're like, I'm so glad I did this. I'm going to make sure that I come back tomorrow. And these are the positive intentions that we put behind this resolve that we have to improve that particular area of our lives. And so the same thing applies to every area of your life. When you want it bad enough, you're going to commit to it. But we let all these other things get in the way because we forget to prioritize what really matters. In other words, do you want to wait till your marriage is at a point where your wife, your partner says, that's enough, I'm out, I'm done? Where you finally decide, I got to do something about this. It doesn't have to be that bad. If you're getting the signs now that something is off in your relationship, that's your opportunity to challenge yourself and open up and start talking about it and figure out, how are we going to resolve this so that we can move forward and get back to the couple that we once were, where we cared about each other, we prioritized each other, and we really focused on serving one another. If it's something in your business, you got into your business because you probably wanted freedom, you wanted choice, you wanted to be able to carve your own path and make your own decisions. Yet you might have a business today that is running you around in circles. The difference is, if you had a job, at least you get paid. At least you get paid what you're worth. So many times I was in my business, I was the last to get paid, constantly cash flow problems, all these issues that were happening all the time. But instead of dealing with them, I just complained about them. I wasn't doing anything about it. I wasn't going out and learning how to become a better business owner. I was just learning how to deal with problems, but not to solve them permanently. And these are just examples of where you can challenge yourself to say, where do I need to level up my life? Where do I need to be better where I know that I can? Because here's the thing. If you are not going to challenge yourself, then you have to accept the challenge that are happening in the different areas of your life. So the question is, are you happy with that? Overall, are you really happy with exactly where your life is now, or do you want to make improvements because you know that you could, but for whatever reason, maybe you feel tired, maybe you just feel beat up, maybe you feel you haven't got enough in the tank, maybe it's because you haven't been taking care of yourself long enough now that you just don't feel like you have it in you and you feel like you've lost that spark. Well, I'm telling you, if that's you, you can get it back. It's about prioritizing what really matters now. So what do you want? Do you want a better marriage? Do you want better health? Do you want a profitable business that actually works for you instead of you being a slave to it? You can do something about these things, and it really starts with you just making the decision that I'm no longer willing to accept the challenge and the challenges that are happening in my life. Instead, I'm going to challenge myself and know that by doing so and committing to it and sticking with it, on the other side of that is the reward. Just like going to the gym when you don't want to and you come out and you feel amazing. It's the same thing. And that's how it starts. So take some time and ask yourself this. Am I accepting my life as it is for whatever reason? And if so, is maybe the time now for you to challenge yourself and think about what is that one area right now that I really need to focus on and get really serious about and challenge myself to really take a hard look at things so that I can start to make the improvements and start moving things in the direction that I want.